What's up, guys? This is Wes, Fantasy Smack Talk, Week 15 in the fantasy football season. Just 3 weeks left to win $250,000 in the NFL FanDuel Sunday Million. Not too shabby. Before I get into my top pivot picks of the week, just want to tell y'all about FanFootball.Ninja. Been our sponsor for a while now. FanFootball, F-A-N Football.Ninja. Cool tool, allows you to take all your teams from every different site, ESPN, Yahoo, CBS. Put them in this one place. You'll get notifications when players get dropped. You can follow all your waiver wires. Get a cool game center where you can watch all your matchups unfold over one place. So hopefully in your season-long leagues, you're still needing that. But the best part is if you sign up before this season ends, you'll get everything 100% free. So check that out, FanFootball.Ninja. All right, for this week in the FanDuel Sunday Million, I'm rolling out Case Keenum wherever I got him. 7,400 against the Bengals in Minneapolis. Keenum has taken a Vikings team that went 8-8 last year, to a squad that's on the precipice of a first-round bye. There's even a chance that, especially with Carson Wentz hurt, Minnesota can clinch home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. So, this is more than a cute story. Keenum has been pretty much a legitimate fantasy option, particularly in this tournament as a pivot differentiation option every week since he took over this job. Doesn't have the highest ceiling, but his floor has been consistently high every week after week this entire season. Exceeded 17 FanDuel points in every game since week 8. And even with tough matchups the last couple weeks in Charlotte and in Atlanta, he's still been a serviceable option. So his opponent this week, the Bengals, they're a top 10 defense by pretty much every metric. I think that's going to keep his ownership low. But they gave up 33 points to the Bears last week at home. So most important to me, the fact that the Bengals have allowed pretty huge numbers to every elite quarterback they faced this year. Keenum's not quite on that level, obviously, but he's pretty darn close. So better and more talented than most of the guys they've seen this year. And again, at that 7,400 price point, like Keenum a lot on Sunday. Running back, my guy this week is Christian McCaffrey. Rolled him out a few times. Like McCaffrey a lot because of the half-point PPR setting in FanDuel. This week, McCaffrey is 6,900 at home against the Packers. Last week, which I think will keep his ownership low this week, just 35 yards on 8 carries in Week 14. So still caught 3 balls, but the 4 targets that he got were the fewest of the year. I think with that, he'll be 9, 8, hopefully 7% owned. And with the floor that he's shown really all year and that $6,900 salary, I think that's all he needs to be attractive. Cam throws him the ball 6-7 times. He's got enough opportunity there to hit value. And prior to last week, Christian had double-digit FanDuel points in the previous 4 weeks. So opponent this week, Green Bay, their rush defense is just about league average, but they're actually a better matchup for a pass-catching back like Christian McCaffrey. So Le'Veon Bell hauled in 12 targets, 12 catches, I should say, in Week 12. Obviously an anomaly, but guys like Jerick McKinnon, Alex Collins, and Duke Johnson all had huge games against the Packers this year. So, again, attractive price point for Christian McCaffrey, 6,900. Lower projected ownership than all the guys priced ahead of him, who all have pretty attractive matchups, or most of whom have pretty attractive matchups. So, with that, I like McCaffrey a lot this week against the Packers. Wide receiver, going to roll out a little mini Vikings stack here. My guy is Adam Thielen. This week, Adam Thielen is 7,600 against the Bengals. Obviously, this is a guy who's established himself as a top-tier receiver in this league. Just a tick or two below guys like Julio Jones, guys like A.J. Green. So I think the matchup with Cincinnati is going to keep his ownership low enough to make him attractive in this tournament. Still don't think he's going to be a guy that's lower than 9% owned, but if he can stay around 10%, I really like him, and I think that's a legitimate possibility. Last week, he went over 100 yards receiving for the 3rd time in 6 games, but it was on an inefficient 6-for-13 line. So against the Carolina defense that is elite by most measures, that's excusable. And, the Bengals aren't as good as the Panthers. Their secondary hasn't shut down any of the elite receivers that it's faced this year. Thielen isn't quite on that level, but like Keenum, more so than Keenum, he's close to that elite level for his position. So I think he's worth a gamble. Again, in that stack, 7,600 against the Bengals. Really high floor, like Thielen a lot this week. Finally, at tight end, tough pick this week at tight end, I thought, but Delanie Walker at 6,500 in San Francisco. was my choice. I don't think he's a bad option pretty much by any measure this week. Again, not a guy that's going to be particularly low owned, but he's going to take a backseat to Zach Ertz and Gronkowski, who are both going to be 20+% owned. Guys that I'm rolling out, to be honest, guys that I think are worth their price point and worth that high ownership and the high risk that comes with that. But Walker has at least 5 targets in every game since week 2 for the Titans. He's exceeded 9 FanDuel points in 5 of Tennessee's last 6 games. Mariota's going to play. The injury bug has been with him all year. Marcus Mariota has been one of the bigger disappointments on this 2017 season. I think that's something that'll keep Delanie Walker in the single-digit ownership and will keep him attractive, frankly. So tight ends have scored 6 touchdowns in the past 7 games against San Francisco. Walker, because of that, because of all that, is a serviceable, relatively low-cost, relative bargain, good pivot option on Sunday. All right, those are my picks for the week. I want y'all to check out FantasySmackTalk.com for this and other stories. A lot of great content that we have all year that'll continue through the end of the year and roll into baseball here in the not-too-distant future. Follow us on Twitter at Fantasy Advice. We'll get all your lineup questions answered this week before your Week 15 playoff matchup starts, as we've done all year at Fantasy Advice. And check us out next week for Week 16.